Hello again. Ahead tonight, an off-duty police officer fights for life in Townsville Hospital after being hit by a car in Glenelg last night. Unmarked graves in Mackay Cemetery finally recognised a century on.
The thing that we had difficulty in doing is we knew the name, we knew the death, but other than that, the stories were lost.
How we fared in the latest immunisation rates, and temperatures in the coalfields dip below zero as that cold snap hits our region. Tonight, police support the family of an officer hit by a car. Thousands of children still not immunised. Unmarked graves recognised 100 years on, and the French urged to visit the Whitsundays.
Across Mackay, the Whitsundays and the coalfields, this is 7 News with Rob Bruff.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us. A Mackay police officer with 15 years' experience is fighting for life in hospital after being hit by a car last night. Reporter Lauren Mara has the details.
Rob, the well-respected police officer has been working in the Mackay district for the past 18 months. Last night, the 44-year-old was running out on Glenelg Richmond Road when he was hit by a car around 8 o'clock. Many of the emergency service crews, including his police, were unaware of what happened until they arrived to find it was their colleague who had been injured. Rob?
Thank you very much, Lauren. Meanwhile, 15 new police officers have been sent to our region following an alarming rise in break-and-enters over the past month. They started today and will be here for the next 10 days. Residents out in Clermont woke up to below zero temperatures as that cold snap hit our region. New figures released today show around 2,000 North Queensland children under 5 are not vaccinated. Parents are being warned to get their kids immunised or put them at risk of contracting a serious illness. 10 activists have been arrested at an anti-Adani protest outside the Commonwealth Bank in Brisbane. The environmentalists were led off peacefully by police. They're calling on the bank to rule out funding for the Carmichael coal mine. A woman who has an autistic son is trying to create a greater understanding of the disorder. Nellie Francis held a sensory detective workshop in Mackay today to help parents and teachers work with autistic children. Mother and daughter are working hard to make sure Mackay's past isn't forgotten. They've been investigating 114 unmarked graves at the cemetery and will soon be able to give them a name. Pictures of the Whitsundays and Great Barrier Reef are on display around Paris to encourage tourists back to the areas affected by Cyclone Debbie. 500 billboards have been put up on bus stops and near popular tourist destinations to entice the French to holiday in Queensland. We'll take a break in a moment. We'll have a look at what's happening over the weekend and the RSPCA in desperate need of help. Nice having you with us on 7 News. Local animal rescue groups are overflowing with dumped dogs and they can't take any more. They're desperately pleading for carers to help ease the burden. Let's have a look now what's happening around our region over the next few days. Here's Mackay Tourism's Melissa Woods.
Thanks, Rob. Well, it's set to be a very busy weekend here across the region. We've got science activities, a wetlands expo, and the Queensland State of Origin team are even coming to Mackay next week. If you have any upcoming events, please email newsmky@7.com.au and have a great weekend.
Let's get into the sport at 8th. Two of Mackay's state coaches have joined forces, mate.
Yeah, look, Bruffy, Steve Shepherd has asked Meteor coach Cam Tregar to give his Cutters a bit of a pre-game pep talk this weekend. We'll have more on that next. And Jonathan Thurston's odds of a Cowboys return improve as he heads to Darwin.
Tonight's Sport Report brought to you by Commercial Metal Traders. Call in and see Ronnie today.
Welcome back to 7 News. Cowboys coach Paul Green is quietly optimistic about Jonathan Thurston returning from injury against Parramatta on Saturday night after the co-captain's shoulder responded well to this week's contact work. He was on the flight to Darwin this afternoon, along with a very happy Scott Bolton, who re-signed with the club today. Ahead of Saturday's big game against Townsville, Cutters coach Steve Shepherd has revealed an unlikely friendship with another state sporting coach, Mackay Meteor Cam Tragar. Pup, who is a basketball fan, has asked Trigger to speak to his squad before they battle the Blackhawks. Fingers crossed for Solomona, and well done to Renee as well. Let's hope Queensland can beat New South Wales. That's it for sport, Bravey.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, good on you, Nate. Lives along in a moment. We'll have the latest on the weather. Scotty Hilly with the fishing report. We're back soon here on 7.
This weather report brought to you by Endeavour Foundation. Real possibilities.
Good evening, Livia Regano with tonight's weather. Well, today was a decidedly cool day right across Queensland. Single-digit temperatures last night, even in the coastal tropics, and of course sub-zero on the Darling Downs. We'll probably reach a climax with a cold snap around about now or maybe tomorrow, and then slowly warming up through the weekend. Temperatures today, Proserpine reached only 21 degrees after a nippy night. Even Mackay got down to only 6 last night with a high of 21. Humidity 48%. Claremont didn't report today. Must have been pretty cold though. Now to the satellite loop. Of course, to get the coldest nights you need clear sky. That's the basic recipe and we're all familiar with that. And of course there's no cloud at all to be seen in Queensland, or very little. That's allowed all the heat to escape last night, produce those very low minimum temperatures. A little bit of cloud just offshore from the northern New South Wales coast, not really interfering with Queensland's weather. Now today's chart. It's really nothing unusual about it, just a classic midwinter pattern. We've got a continental high just sitting pretty close to Adelaide. You've got a low that's digging its way into the Tasman Sea and that's causing the winds to take more of a southwesterly direction rather than southeasterly. So they're land-based and they're dry and they're cool and they're propelling the cool air slowly right up to the northern tropics. Tomorrow's chart won't look too much different. The low starts to basically phase out a little bit, gradually turning the wind more easterly, but it won't be until the weekend that it'll start to warm up. Now the latest from the Weather Bureau, boating forecast for Mackay waters. Bit of a windy day on the water tomorrow. Southeasterlies up to 20 knots, not too bad I guess. By Sunday it should drop back to 15. Big tides tomorrow with a full moon, the high rolling in about morning tea time and the low not long before 5 p.m. Central Coast and Whitsundays, a sunny day tomorrow after some early frost, would you believe. Mackay, 7 to 22 degrees. Bowen, top of 23, 22 for Proserpine. Central Highlands and Coalfields, again some morning frost, but then a sunny day. Emerald ranging 7 to 24 degrees, top of 22 for Claremont, 5 to 22 for Moranbah. Looking ahead for Mackay, possible road shower over the weekend, but otherwise it's going to be mostly sunny in the mid-20s. Wednesday could see a shower or two developing. Due to popular demand, I'm going to explain again why snow is such a rare thing in Queensland, even though temperatures do often fall below freezing. Falling snow can only survive to sea level when the air temperature is less than about 4 degrees. If it's any warmer, the snow melts before reaching the ground and we get sleet or rain. You've probably noticed in Queensland it only ever drops below freezing on clear nights when heat can easily escape into space. Problem is, you need cloud to get snow, and cloud acts like a blanket at night, instantly raising the temperature, so the mercury never makes it to the magic 4 degrees. Have a terrific evening, folks. Hope you can make it again tomorrow. Now it's over to Scott Hilly with the fishing report.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Cool conditions sees that water temperature continue to drop. Now, one species that love this are the bream. They've been around in pretty good numbers and well worth chasing this weekend. Here's a couple of tips. What's worth a shot over the weekend? Rocky Dam Creek, Seaforth, along with the Rock Wall. Have a top weekend.
Terrific, Scotty. Good on you, mate. You have a nice weekend too. Well, that wraps it up, folks. Just a reminder, we have a replay of our news on 7:2 in a moment. Otherwise, we'll catch you tomorrow night. Take care. Good night.